But first, let's get serious about the voice referendum, the race-based referendum seeking to change our constitution and entrench racial privilege into the founding document of our nation. And if that is allowed to occur, if Australians are guilted into backing this radical agenda, then you can be sure that what comes next is further division, including an empowered voice full of activists pushing for the implementation of the Uluru Statement in full. Here is co-chair of the Prime Minister's Referendum Council, Pat Anderson, saying the quiet bit out loud. This footage is from mid-2022, but it came to light after Pauline Hanson shared it on Twitter this week.
The Uluru Statement is about treaty, but there's a way to get there. At the moment, we are powerless. If we have the voice, then we have two sovereign peoples having an equal discussion, not the power imbalance that we have now. So we will then be in charge of everything that happens after that. With a voice, we can speak with some power and authority given to us by the Australian people, because they are the people that can change, the only people that can change the Constitution. Parliament can't, but you all can. Okay, that's the importance and significance of going to referendum. So once we are locked in there to the Constitution, we are locked in. We have been powerless for a long time. In fact, since ATSIC, ATSIC had its issues, but nevertheless, we all were able to go to one place and have our arguments and sort stuff out.
Incredible stuff. ATSIC had its issues. Yeah, I guess that's what you can call mass waste and corruption. As many of us has warned, the voice will be ATSIC on steroids, an ATSIC with far greater power and really no accountability, because it's in the Constitution and it cannot be disbanded without another referendum. Let's hear now from Dr. Dylan Lino about voice and treaty.
The voice can give First Nations peoples greater political power in negotiating a national framework for treaties. Right? This is the whole idea behind a voice, is that it will give Indigenous peoples collective political power. It institutionalise that through the process of a referendum and kind of this formal recognition of the Constitution.
That's the whole idea, he said. Now, who is Dr. Lino, you may ask? Well, according to the Uluru Statement website, Dr. Dylan Lino is a senior lecturer at the University of Queensland and was a member of the team that provided legal advice to the Uluru Dialogue. That clip is from late last year. Let's now go to pro-yes advocate Noel Pearson, who in the past has attacked Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price and Warren Mundine in the ugliest terms, calling them glove puppets who mindlessly regurgitate the words of white folk to punch down on Indigenous people. You'll remember that. He also called readers of the Australian newspaper borderline casual racists. And let's not forget the manner in which he targeted fellow Yes advocate Mick Gooder for daring to say the voice was losing support and there needed to be compromise.
He's wetting the bed. This is what little Mickey Gooder's done here.
Gooder was right, by the way, and now Pearson wants you to forget his bullying tactics. He's now all magnanimous, mild-mannered and advocating for reasonable change. Here he is with Chris Kenny.
If we're going to talk reconciliation, then our actions have got to show reconciliation. And I've made a commitment to myself that in the advocacy of this referendum, I am going to appeal to the better angels of our nature, including my own. In order to be influential, it can't be silly. It will destroy its credibility if it comes out with outlandish advice.
It sounds like total fantasy. Isn't it interesting that when the Yes case was winning in the polls with 2 in 3 Australians backing it, Pearson was brash and blustering, in many ways a bully. Now that the polls have changed, he is suddenly all warm and cuddly. But in the end, what matters is the power of this thing, and Pearson is among those who has made it clear that a voice will lead to treaty.
Our aspirations nationally, in terms of is to have a voice to the Parliament, and once we have a representative body, we will seek to negotiate a treaty with the Australian Parliament.
Voice, treaty, truth-telling. It's all there in the Uluru Statement, and it's a commitment Anthony Albanese has made time and time again.